All right, we're off.
Okay, ready, Freddie? Okay, guys, welcome to tonight's Sunday call for Start Canada. I'm so excited to see all of your faces here. I know Sunday is the day that a lot of people choose to sit back, chill, relax, but, all of you guys here showing up live just shows your commitment to yourself, to your team, to your business, and to your future. So I'm truly just so grateful that all of you guys are here today. These calls are recorded and they're put into our YouTube channel. So for anyone tuning in there, we are just a group of individuals with a common vision to ignite our young people to own their lives physically and financially, and through our contribution create freedom and a lasting legacy. Who can get totally pumped up about our vision? I just love it so much. A lot of us are getting back from ICU. How many of you guys were at ICU in Toronto this past weekend? Craziness. I feel like I'm in I need to recoup a little bit, but I'm so excited to use all the stuff that we learned this weekend and, just bust through some of the things that we're all working through. So as this call is recorded, I have to say that this is meant for associates within our company that we are all aligned with. But if you're tuning into the recording on YouTube, we have to do a little bit of a disclaimer. We are all aligned with a really phenomenal nutrition and wellness company. We do talk about some food products, but we do not diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases or illnesses. We just all align with the vision that good nutrition can do some amazing things. You may also hear some financial money-making claims here. You have to know that everyone's story is different. We do not promise anything. I personally love that I can align myself with something that the amount of work I put in is related to what I get out of it. So no income claims here. And our purpose for this call is to really get together all of the young people in Canada. So connecting everyone, offering tools, support, coaching, and inspiration to get your belief a 10 out of 10 in all areas, so you guys can have unstoppable belief in sharing this wonderful gift with as many people as you can. A little bit of background about Start Canada and what we're launching here. I linked up with Tina Gray, and we really saw a vision for creating a committee. So we have representatives from every province and territory to really get this message going across Canada and get it booming. And especially seeing what happened after Start, the Start segment with Eric Coover at ICU. I'm so excited for where this is heading. I'm so grateful that all of you guys have decided to link up with us. If any of you are interested in being a part of the committee, please let Tina or I know in a personal message. So with that, we all know that we are storytellers, and we start off with a segment called The Starter in the Spotlight. And the idea of this is to connect different stories from all over Canada to different backgrounds, so all of you guys can get to know one another, and maybe their story doesn't resonate with you, but tuck it away. It could resonate with someone else and totally change their life. So with that, we're going to jump right into The Starter in the Spotlight, which this week is Tamala. I love Tamala. She has such genuine, sweet energy. If you've ever met her at an event, you just know that she has a heart of pure gold. I met her at the Start Global Give Back Day in Toronto, where we were raising money for the fires out in Fort Mac. I think we raised $5,000 or $7,000 that day. So meeting there totally shows her heart. I'm so excited to hear her story. Let's give her a hand, guys.
Tamala, are you muted?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so thanks so much, Morgan, for the awesome introduction. So I'm so excited to be here today. My name is Tamala. I'm from Hamilton, Ontario. And I want to start off by asking you all a question. So how many of you are thankful to have Isagenix in your life? So I know I am. It has really changed my life in so many different ways. So I'm excited to share my story with all of you today, and I hope that it inspires and encourages all of you. So going back.
Hey guys, Tamala, hold on one sec. If you guys are not on mute, can you make sure that you're muted? Tamala's line is having some trouble, and if we all mute, that will make it better. Thank you.
I would. You guys, sorry. Hello?
Tamala, go ahead. I think that will be better. Try
Sorry,
again.
Can you guys hear me? My internet's really unstable right now. Okay. Okay, so like I was saying, every day, that was my life for so long. I was overweight. I gained a considerable amount of weight. I was reaching for convenience and fast foods to take with me to work. And it was really hard for me to exercise. So uncomfortable in my own skin and my own body. I had shattered self-confidence and self-esteem, and I was truly broken. And I really didn't see a way out at the time. Until one day I was on Periscope and I met, any of you know Journey? She is truly amazing, inspiring, and full of life. So I started following Journey. We became friends, and I started my Isagenix journey about a year ago. Now, after starting Isagenix, I've now lost 55 pounds. I'm able to get through all of my shifts at work without an issue and have plenty of energy to do the things I love to do afterwards. And I've now been around all of you amazing people at some events, and I have my self-confidence back. I'm passionate about helping other people who are hurting as well, and I'm able to give back to my community, helping around the community to others that are also feeling stuck in their life.
Hey, Morgs, I think we lost her.
Okay, poor girl. That was so good. She worked so hard on that.
That's okay. We'll have her again.
Yep. Okay. There. I don't know if she's sitting in a coffee shop or something. Anyways, I hope you guys could hear little bits of that. Her story is absolutely phenomenal. How she's come around as a person is just absolutely amazing. I'm so proud of her. I know Carrie Coffee wrote in here that she met her at ICU. And she was so shy and nervous. Anyways, I'm just so proud of her for getting on there, guys. So even if she's not here, let's give her a round of applause. And with that, we have two absolutely amazing speakers on this call, guys, so we want to get going as fast as we can. We are going to start off with an absolutely amazing woman. She is passionate about dance and fitness. I'm so happy that we get to see her smiling face here, because she was just going to join us over the phone, but now we get to really feel her emotion through the computer. I'm so grateful that she's able to be here. She got started here when she was in her starter age, working multiple jobs as a bartender and teaching 20 plus fitness classes a week. And I think a lot of us can probably relate to that, you know, trading time for money and being young and overworking yourself. Who can relate to that on this call? Right? Totally. I know I can. And after some hard work, some reluctance, I think, before some grind and focused determination, she was able to retire from trading time for money. She's now a 7-figure income earner and one of our Isagenix millionaires. If you guys don't know what that is, it means that cumulatively she's earned over $1 million with this awesome opportunity that we are all aligned with. I'm so excited to introduce Tara Romano.
Hi guys, thank you so much. You're so funny for having me on, and I'm so glad I could be face to face too. I was like, oh no, I thought I would be in my car, which would be so distracting, but I made it literally just in time. You never know with LA traffic. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yepers.
Okay, perfect. Did you want me to start with something particular?
Did you want to just go through a little bit of your story first?
Yeah, of course, that's what I figured. Okay, so just to let you guys know, I was 32 when my sister approached me, or maybe 31, about the products. I actually went back to college to finish my degree. So I was going to school like more than full-time, 19 credits. I was working full-time as a bartender, plus doing my fitness classes. So I was busy, but I was definitely a do as I say, not as I do fitness instructor. Like I didn't really feel the part. And I would literally go from school to teaching, like being on coffee all day. Like my big thing was Dunkin' Donuts, light and sweet, like so sweet I could actually chew the sugar from the bottom. It was so disgusting. And then I would drive home after teaching 3 classes, grab a 7-Eleven sandwich, like so do as I say, not as I do. So my sister told me, and I was just like run down, and I just didn't feel like super happy. I mean, bartending, like I was going on 10 years bartending. I mean, and if you guys are in the restaurant business, like I can totally relate to that. plus after being in school all day. But my sister told me about the program because she was concerned for my health. And I just wanted nothing to do with whatever she was selling me. So she actually bought the program for me for Christmas. She didn't wrap it or anything. Like I walked in the door and it was just like sitting right at the foyer, and I'm like, all right, awesome. But I vividly remember being in class with my big jug. I put all my cleanse in a gallon thing, and people are like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know, but like my pants were literally falling off me. And it was week 2 that I was wearing jeans that I hadn't worn since high school. And for me, that was like huge. But like, I just want to let you know, like, I mean, this is 7 years almost now that I've been on the products. It was consistent. Like I kept the weight off. Like I lost like 10 pounds, but for me to keep it off was like the biggest thing, because I tried everything out there. So, you know, I had on the program, like finished school, looking for a teaching job I was more than qualified for. Like I started a Zumba program in the schools. Like I was still bartending, still using the products. And my sister told me about the business, and I literally, like, I would curse at her. I'm like, I am not doing one of those network marketing things. Like, forget it. Like, I'm not selling things to people. And my clients like needed stuff, but I would just like give her the people, or I would like give them samples of stuff. I was just totally not into it. So I vividly remember the one night I was, I had just turned 33 at this point, and I was bartending, and it was a Saturday night, and it sucked. It was bad. Like my boss was yelling at me. People were horrible. And I was crying under the stairs, and I couldn't believe like this is my life at this point. I was like, I just worked so hard, and I felt like I should have a career. I really wanted to be a teacher. And so I called my sister crying, which was not unusual, because like I would do that often. And she said, I'm not going to listen to you complain anymore. Try this opportunity with me, or just find someone else to complain to. And I was like, all right, fine. Like, fine. So I remember going to Celebration, and at that time, you know, going to California, like I was excited, and I was in this room, and I saw these pictures of people who were like my age, older, younger, and like making this money. And I'm like, this is not real. Like, I just really thought, like, what is my sister into? This is not real. And it was the last day, and because I was definitely the one in the back like this for a long time at events. But the person on the stage, and I don't remember what trainer it is significantly, the person on the stage had said, you know, more than half of you won't be here next year, or in how many years, because you're going to stop, you're going to quit. And I was like, I looked around and I was like, gosh, that's so me. Like, that's so something that I would do. Like, I would, do you guys hear that? So that would be something. Do you guys hear that, or is it just me?
Guys, if you can
it's Tamala's computer. Just she needs to mute herself.
Okay, perfect. Sorry. I'm like, does anybody else hear that? So anyway, I just didn't want to be that person. I had stopped a lot of things in my life. So when I went back to finish college, that was huge for me. And I remember feeling after that so good. I didn't want to quit something else, basically. So I was still bartending, still teaching like all the classes, but I decided to commit. At that point, I literally committed to doing this business. And for me, committing was getting on the calls finally, like going to the events. And I went to the events, and I still didn't have 110% belief, but something about the events kept me going back. Like, you know, no one told me when I was in high school or college, if they did, I don't remember that I could be, do, or have anything like that. I could create this life. Like, I didn't know about that. I didn't know about personal development. I saw Les Brown, and I got chills. I was crying. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, this is really amazing. So even though it took me a long time, I used the products for 2 years before I did the business, guys, just to keep that in your mind. I would go to these events, and then I built my beliefs. So like, one of the biggest things that I tell my team is like, if you're not going to events, like, you're never gonna, like, if you don't immerse yourself in this culture consistently, it's just not gonna happen for you. So that was a big thing. And that's kind of my story. And I mean, it literally, like 4 years ago, if you told me like this would be my life, I mean, even as every year went on, like for me, it wasn't about the money. It was just about making a change. Like, I would have thought you were lying. So that's, you know, it's just so significant. That's why I like when someone asks me to do these calls, like, I love sharing.
That's so wonderful. Thank you. I completely agree with you. Like, events are huge, absolutely huge. Who can agree I see you this weekend. Like, you just leave a totally changed person, right? So Tara, as someone who was in the start demographic and probably, you know, has quite a few starters in your team, what can you recommend for either getting starters started, or a lot of people on this call had questions about how can you show them to, you know, share? I know you had some reluctance for 2 years, but duplication, how do you share that with other young people?
So one of the things, like, I mean, it's so funny because, you know, I was in the start age when I started, but I never thought of like my age as anything. But I know that there's probably really young people on, and what I say to the young people is, I mean, like, people, no matter what age you are at, I think like people want to be more awake, more like passionate, and more like doing things like you guys are doing at such a. I wish that I knew about this, but you know, we learn when we're supposed to learn. So when it comes to duplication, and I know that was a big thing you guys wanted me to touch upon, there really should be something for every little thing that we have in this business. So whether it be like signing someone up, like how to share. I mean, there's so many different ways to share this product. I feel like we could have a whole hour conversation on that. But I mean, let me ask you, like, when you want me to share duplication in terms of like more the business, more like the products, like where do you feel like you guys want to touch more upon?
Claudine, are you on this call? I know you're the one that brought this up last week in a phenomenal question.
Yeah, definitely. So what I was hoping is a bunch of people on my team are asking how to duplicate. Like, it's a beautiful word.
Okay.
Yeah. How to duplicate leadership.
Okay. So, all right. So just keep in mind, like, when it comes to duplication, you should, like, one of the things that we always say, my sister knows, and her team is humongous, knows that the person that's like 20 levels below her is literally doing the same exact thing that she's doing, so that there's no question. So when you have a new person who's coming into this business, it's funny, when I first started, you know, doing calls on my own, my sister was in the car. She's like, oh my God, you sound exactly like me. And then another one of my consultants, like, oh my God, you sound just like Tara. And it's because we do things exactly the same, but we're using, like, I mean, we're different people. So we have different ways of saying it. And there's a lot of, you know, that going around. But like, just knowing, like, do you guys have like a system for how you sign people up? You have a system of how you're welcoming them into the group? Do you have a system for when new people are coming in, like how to get them started? Isagenix tools are so ridiculously amazing. Like, we don't really have to change anything, but there's so much. So it's kind of like the focus on it. And you know, a lot of times you can have new people coming in, and there's so many different personalities. And number one, I've learned is to meet people where they are, because not everybody wants to make thousands of dollars. Like, it seems crazy to them. And that was me. Like, if you showed me, like, you know, do you want to become a 9-star? I would have been like, you're crazy. This is like a hoax. Leave me alone. You know, I want to get my products paid for. I just knew I wanted something different. So know where your person wants to go. Like, that's really important. And then, you know, like, community support and shouting people out are really huge. So you have to make that person feel supported as they come in. But again, like, and I just had someone who's very, very new, like, he more kind of like knows everything, which I get. And that's like a different kind of personality when they come in and they're like, oh, I get this, I can do it all. But like, it's so, what I try to say is, like, when you have new people coming in, it's so important that they know how everything works, because duplication is just really everything. And I feel like you'll hear it so much from the leaders in so many different ways. But, oh gosh, and there was a great quote I had, I'll probably think of it towards the end of the call, but just really having a system for everything, like, and knowing that the person, you know, who enrolled you, like, when your team grows and grows and grows, and as your ISA pulse keeps going off, you know that that person understands everything. And I also think that connecting your downline with your upline, just as an introduction, is really, really amazing too. Just to keep that connection, because like, nobody's really untouchable. Like, my sister, I mean, it's funny because she's like the top 5 of the company, like every month. But like, when you meet her and talk to her, I mean, regular person, and she still enrolls people, she still prospects, she still recruits, and she still trains. So that's really just important.
I love that. Thanks so much. Does anyone have any other questions or things to add to that on the concept of duplication? Okay, I have one more question for you. during your time within your business building and your leadership and your team building, what were some of your biggest wall kicking moments or days or seasons or weeks or whatever there was, and how did you get over them?
So I have to be honest, like when I did this business, like I feel like it's gotten a lot bigger. I mean, you guys have to remember I started this business like 5 years ago. So I really wasn't looking at what everyone else was doing because I was like so busy. Like I was in production mode. But I guess the wall kicking moments were, I mean, like maybe what, like, I guess like when, when people like my friends, when my friends, like you're doing something different and wanting more, like they kind of like, I remember them vividly making fun of me. I would always do launch parties and always do vendor tables. Like I just really was in action. Like I was such a hard worker. I come from like 3 to 7 W-2 forms, like literally every year of my life. So like when this business came in, I treated it just like I would any other job. So I was like pushing. I had the vendor tables when I had no clue what I was doing. Like I did the launch parties when I didn't know how to answer the questions. Like I was very much of a person as an action. Like I always took action even when I didn't know. And that's still something that I do. But it was when like people were like, I remember friends like knocking over my display like as a joke, and I felt like, I'm like, is this really happening? Like we're adults, like, and I'm like, am I doing something weird? Is this not right? Like people had such a stigma towards network marketing, and I did too, but like I think it's because I didn't understand what it was. So it was my not knowing is why I had that stigma attached to it. So I feel like that's what it was for them. And then when you change and you want to become and do better, like some people just don't like that. And that was a big thing for me. And it was, I feel like that was a big wall kicking moment because, you know, I feel like when you take action in this business and it's doing it every single day, and it's what my sister taught me, it's this business and why people quit. Is because we are so like we want things right away. We're such a world where like we need things just to happen, and that's not what this business is. And we literally took action every single day. It's like there's really no weekends off, but there doesn't have to be because you could do this business like everywhere that you are. It's really all about connection. And I always remember Peter Kelly and a lot of the others, leaders saying, just don't be weird, but for me, the wall kicking moment was that, but it wasn't so much because I was in such action that I was like, I'm doing this anyway. So come with me or not. And it's funny because the people that don't like it in the beginning or think it's weird are the ones that wind up coming with you later on. So don't ever stop. And Jimmy Smith, and he said this to me at the last celebration. This was one of the first things any leader had ever said to me. He's like, the only way to fail is to quit. And when I figured out the compensation plan, because like I didn't really get so stuck about how we got paid. But when I finally, the light bulb went off, I'm like, oh my gosh, if we all just got 2 people and, like we would just all got 2 people and everybody did that, we'd all be rich. But I mean, it sounds so simple and it really is, but we get so caught up with the complexity of it and all the outside stuff that goes on. But that's why I think the events are just so important.
Wicked. That is so awesome. The only way to fail is to quit. I wrote that down in all my notes in big because that's just so awesome. I would love to know if there was any bit of advice for everything that you know now that you would offer a young person stepping forward into building this business. What would it be?
Oh my gosh, like literally just don't quit. Like I literally cannot, like I can't stress it enough. Like if I could just like grab people and shake them, and I want to do it with my team, but know that you can only guide someone so far and it's going to be them who's going to do it. People are going to quit. Like, don't hold on to it. Like, you're going to make mistakes. Like I always say, like, I've never been at this point in my life with this many teammates. Like, I'm doing the best I can every year, and I'm still new in network marketing. I have so much to learn, but never, never, ever quit, because the person that you're going to become in the process and the people that you're going to help is just so priceless. Like it's literally personal development with a compensation plan attached to it. And you could do so many other things and do this business. Residual income is like, it's so amazing. You're making money while you're asleep, helping people. And like one day you're going to want to travel or have kids, and like just doing this while you're growing, because I know a lot of you guys are it's just so incredible. Never, 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 ever quit.
I love that so much. Thank you so much, Tara. One more quick question. What are any good books or podcasts that you're plugging into right now?
Oh my gosh, what is his name? So I love Lori Harder. She's always just been such an inspiration to me. She has great stuff on if you're like soulful like that. Oh gosh, what is his name? I'm gonna look it up while Scott's talking, and then I'll write it in the comments. Jack Canfield's Success Principles. I am actually just listening to the audiobook again. And like you listen to these books and stuff and over again, you get something different for wherever you are in your life. And if you guys haven't read Eric Worre, Go Pro, do it like right now. Like literally right after this call, get it, because we actually have it as a part of our system for new people to get the book and read it or listen to the audio, because it's going to really help you with this business. So Jack Canfield and Eric Worre, I think, are like two top ones.
Awesome. And that would totally help build your belief in network marketing as you're, going through all that hardship. That's so awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much, Tara. Do you guys have any questions? We'll open up the lines really quick here. Holy, we've almost maxed out this whole call. Anyone have any questions? Everyone's smiling. You can take yourself off mute now.
Come on, guys, don't be shy. We have Tara with us. We want to, take advantage of the opportunity. All right. Well, if you have some, throw them in the chat. She's going to be around.
I'll do a question. Hi, Tara. I can't see you right now because I've got it on speaker view.
I can see you.
Okay. How are you? Oh my God, I so relate to your story being an overtaxed fitness instructor that ate garbage and do as I say and not as I do. Holy. So I guess I'm just sort of looking at the structure of your day now, because you're still juggling all these balls, and what does your day look like?
Oh my gosh,
a lot like mine.
Yeah, like I'm always still. It's so funny. Like no matter where you're going to go in your business, I'm always prospecting. I'm like, I have like an hour blocked off. So I have a time blocked off to support my team and like and comment on their posts. And then I have a time where I have my list. I have a list just like everybody else, and I literally work my list and make new connections. And then it's like, I have my three-way calls. I'm having time for myself, and then I have another fitness business, so I work that as well. But like I have found that like having that consistency, like that 2 hours a day on social media might not be 2 hours, but maybe it's 30 minutes, but it's every day. Like it's every day, because it's what you do now that like next 6 to 12 months, it's going to show up. Like what happens is people start working so hard 6 to 12 months, and they're like, 1 cycle, 2 cycles. Oh my gosh, what's happening? I'm like, all right, that's 1 cycle of residual income, but it's what happens years after. So like for me, just to let you guys know, it took me 2.5 years to become a 1-star. So like nobody knew who I was. And then all of a sudden, like, all of that work that we did, like it really just added up. And then people are like, oh, it happened really fast for you. I'm like, no, it really didn't, because it was all the work that we did in the past. So it's like just having that schedule, and I'm prospecting on social media. And then when I'm out and about, really connecting with people, letting them know what I do, always using my products in front of people. I haven't been to networking events, but I go to other instructors' classes to connect with them, because I'm not teaching my own regularly. But having a networking group, a meetup group, always growing your network. I have a very large network, but I'm always looking to grow it. So it's never stopping that.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
That's so awesome. Oh, Alexia, did I see you raise your hand? You had a question as well. Alexia is our representative from Nunavut, Tara, if you know where that is in Canada. It's way up there.
I just wanted to say in regards to Eric Worre's Go Pro, for those of you who have Spotify, it is available for download. So you can listen to it during your workout, during quiet time at work, if you can plug in. It's great.
Good. Thanks, girl. Anyone else have any final questions?
There's another book, Scott, you might know the name of it, The Something Bus by John Gordon.
Energy Bus.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys literally have to read that. It's amazing.
All his books are amazing.
Oh yeah, it's like so good.
Such a good book.
Yeah.
Peggy, did I see you raise your hand?
I was going to ask Tara, thanks for being on the call, Tara, that's great. I just wanted to ask you, are you using the new associate checklist with all your new people?
No, I don't.
Okay.
No, I have in the past, but I just found that I'm just not using it right now.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Okay, thank you so much, Tara. We are so blessed to have you here and so grateful.
You guys are awesome. You have such a packed call on a Sunday night. That is so telling.
Yeah, we're growing massively. It's been so
Awesome.
exciting. Thank you so much for being here.
You are so welcome.
Okay, so with that, guys, I got so many takeaways. I hope you guys did too. We are crunched for time, but we are going to jump into our next trainer here. He is a born entrepreneur. He is also a fitness professional. He's been in the fitness industry for about 17 years. He's owned 3 fitness clubs, and as a sports nutritionist and personal trainer who has, put in about 30,000 hours into training his clients, which is insane. Like many people, he was fulfilled with his career, but he was dissatisfied that he had to trade time for money. You can tell that's going on in this call a lot. We can all relate to that. So he also had a fear of getting sick or hurt, like a lot of people, like a massage therapist or chiropractor. You're one injury away from being completely unemployed, especially if you don't have another source of income. So this guy is absolutely phenomenal. He's found amazing success. He's absolutely killer on social media, and he's going to give us some tips and tools. So I hope you guys all have your pens and paper ready. I'm so excited to introduce Scott Aaron.
Well, thank you so much for having me on the phone. And first, let's give it up for Tara one more time. It's always amazing, to hear her train and speak. She always gives away such great content. So, and it's awesome to be here with her on this call too. So thanks for having me, guys.
Okay, so do you just want to go through a little bit of your story, how you found Isagenix?
Yeah. Absolutely. So the long and the short of it is I was a very busy personal trainer and health club owner, and I was really getting sick of the everyday grind. And I compared it to Groundhog's Day. I was literally waking up to Sonny and Cher every single morning because I had the same schedule. I was up at 4 a.m., first client at 5, straight through all day till 9 p.m., and that was my life. And I basically began to realize there had to be a better way. I was psychologically unemployable from day one. I've never had a boss. I've never had a real job, quote unquote. I've been in the industry since I was 19, and I'm 37 now. So this is more than half my life. This is what I know. And basically, one of my old buddies that used to work out at one of my previous gyms said, can I come in? Can we start catching a workout? Worked out for a couple weeks, and he was dripping on me a little bit, and I'd heard of Isagenix, and I'd tried to be recruited by other companies before. And finally, I turned to him and I said, you know what? I need to just try something else because I'm not happy where my life is. And I'm a very coachable person. Literally, you tell me exactly what to do, and I'm going to do it. So I tried the products. Within 10 days, my energy levels were up. I knew I had something here, and I knew if I can get my clients to do 25 burpees, I can get them to get onto Isagenix. So from there, the rest is history. I literally, within 2 years, I matched my income of what I was making as a personal trainer with my network marketing business. And the biggest aha moment for me was 3 months into this journey. I was on vacation with my family, and I hadn't taken a vacation in 5 years because if I took a week off from work, that was no money at all. Literally $0 coming in. And I was sitting on the beach, and I got a notification from the company that I had made $600 that week. And it changed everything for me because that was the first time ever in my fitness career that I had made $1 not personal training. And at that point, I was like, you know what? I am not stopping with this. And I'm happy to say that I'm 3.5 years in now, and I was able to retire from personal training. And I actually just closed my gym about 6 weeks ago. So I'm completely in free enterprise. So yeah, holla.
That is so wonderful. And I've never met you personally, but I've been told that you're kind of the social media guy. So a lot of people here came out with tons of questions. A lot of them are lacking confidence for, I don't know what to put on social media. I'm worried people are going to judge me. So I would love to know, as much as you can, the do's and don'ts, how to get started, how to dip your toe in the water with social media.
Absolutely. So first off, the people that are feeling what to put on Facebook and social media, you have to let go of that story because as Peter Kelly says, when you plug that story in your head, you're going to come off weird on social media. So on social media, Facebook especially is the biggest piece that you need to include. And it's I'll tell you a funny story. I was out to dinner with my family on Friday, and I was walking into this restaurant, a steakhouse, and this woman grabbed my arm, and I turned, and she was sitting with her husband, and she goes, "Are you Scott Aaron?" And I said, "Yeah." And she goes, "I follow you on Facebook. I love all of your fitness tips." And she's from the Philadelphia area, but I mean, I didn't know who she was, but that spoke volumes to me because the consistency of what I've been doing over the last 3.5 years compounded, just like Tara said, it's doing the same thing day in, day out. Just like Lynn Hagedorn says, you have to marry the mundane. So, you know, I've learned about the peak times on Facebook, which are 7 a.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Eastern. And, you know, I always start my day with positivity. So whether it's a quote, a picture post, something, you know, if anyone follows me or Tara on Facebook, you know, we always start our morning with positivity and sometimes a little bit of funny stuff. You know, Tara's got great coffee funnies in the morning. But you know, when people go onto your social media site, you have to realize your profile on Facebook is your business card. That is your business card. So everything you want on there, you want people to know exactly what you do. And what I do is I try to give a little piece of me every single day. And whether that is a healthy meal that I ate, whether that was someone that I hung out with that I haven't seen before, whether it's a new pair of sneakers I bought. And I always throw those little things in there all day long. And you do want to post, I know it may sound a lot for people, but about 4 times a day. The main times are something inspirational. 8 p.m., and this is just me. You don't have to do what I do, but 8 p.m. Eastern, Sunday night through Thursday night, I always do some sort of transformation or rank advancement from someone on my team. Now, because I do that 5 days a week, my whole belief is this, that there are some people that are on Facebook all day long and all night long and every day, every week, but there are some people that might not be on there as much. So I want to make sure that I touch those people no matter what. That's why I'm consistent Sunday through Thursday. Friday night and Saturday night, that's kind of like the weekend nights. So I kind of do more lifestyle then, out to dinner with friends, or, you know, if I'm the West Coast visiting Tara, whatever we're doing out. You want to show a piece of you. You want people to get to know you without them having to meet you. And that's the big key. Lunchtime is also a great time to post because people at work are sitting at their desk, maybe taking their lunch break. So a healthy tip or an exercise tip or what you're currently doing. You can do a lunchtime post, or a dinner time post between, 5 and 6. And again, that can be anything that speaks to you. If you have kids, if you're out with some friends, just make sure that you're being consistent every single day. And I can't stress to you guys that enough. Like, people that take days off of their social media, it's only going to hurt your business in the end, because people want to see you. They want to see your face. Do videos. And I know a lot of people on here are like, no way am I doing a video. I don't know what I would say. And listen, it's weird. You're literally holding a phone to your face, staring at it. It might be a little bit weird in the beginning, but it's not about how it feels. It's about how people are going to feel about your content. That's what it's about. So if you can take whatever you're going to do on social media and make it about everybody else and not about you, you're going to wake up with a purpose of I can't wait to put something on Facebook or social media today, because who am I going to inspire today? Whose life am I going to impact today?
I love it. Holy, there's so many gold nuggets in there. I'm glad this call is recorded. That's all I got to say, because I got to re-listen to that and fix my messy notes. But I love that. Just the whole message that it's not about you. Get over your story. That is the biggest hurdle I think I had to get over. And it's so, so worth it. Just that little bit every day of that self-development and being authentic and consistent. I love, when I see these people post positive and inspirational things, but then they post something that totally doesn't align with the rest of the positivity, and then people get confused. So I love when you touched on, your Facebook or your Instagram or whatever you're using is your business card.
Yeah.
I would love to know, there's so many social media platforms out there. What are, one, your favorite, and two, do you suggest that people get on all of them?
So the first question, my favorite. So it's hard to say what my favorite is. I like social media just because I build a network and connect with people. So for me, for product user wise, getting people on the products, I love Facebook. For business connections and people looking for an opportunity monetarily, I love LinkedIn. I do also use Google Plus. I use Instagram. I use Twitter. I really don't know how to use Twitter, but I tweet, but I don't even know what it's doing or where it's going. But my two biggest ones are Facebook and LinkedIn. As far as getting on all of them, absolutely not. You need to become good at a few things. It's if you spread yourself over all of the social media sites, your energy is going to be directed in so many different directions that the universe really isn't going to know who should be brought into your life. Really, honestly, focus the main three: Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. And I do a little bit here and there. I have a YouTube channel that I post videos to, but those are the ones that really engage people the most ways. Now, just to give you the difference between the three, Facebook is obviously the most personal. It's the one where you can really search for people that were in your life at some point, whether it's in university or elementary school or a work, something that you did, a vacation. So that's always going to be the personal connection. So what you want on Facebook is something related to the personal connection. LinkedIn, the reason why I like LinkedIn is because you can actually create your own network. And I came to a Max Out event up in Toronto, and I taught on this, that LinkedIn gives you the innate ability to kind of create your own network. So when people say, well, what do I do on LinkedIn? Who should I be connecting with? I always say to these people, look in the mirror, and that is who you. So if you look at who you are, what you did, what you've done, what you stand for, and what you're looking to achieve, you got to go find those people on LinkedIn by searching for people that are just like you. That's what I love about LinkedIn. Instagram is a little bit different. Instagram is all pictures and videos, and it's a very, very difficult algorithm to figure out. I'm in the process of trying to figure out, but it's a very, very high volume scrolling newsfeed of pictures. The one thing that I realize that works the most on how to get people to look at what you're doing and to follow you are hashtags. And you can actually search for different hashtags on Instagram. So whatever your picture is, and what I learned is that you don't want to put any spaces in between your hashtags. So people will do like hashtag coffee space, hashtag good life. You want to actually do hashtag whatever it is, hashtag whatever. So it's got to be a continuous hashtag with no spaces in between. I know Tara, when she's on her Instagram, she does dance fitness. So she'll actually hashtag dance fitness, hashtag Zumba, hashtag Zest, everything related to Zumba. For me, I'll do hashtag personal trainer, hashtag nutritionist, hashtag healthy. So anything related to your picture and what you're putting out there, you can do up to anywhere between 12 to 15 different hashtags in a post. And that's just a little tidbit on all three of those platforms.
Holy, so useful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I just started doing the hashtag thing today. So like you were just talking about with Tara, I do pole fitness, and you can actually Google like pole Instagram hashtags and then just copy and paste the hashtags, plop them under your picture. And I think I gained like 12 followers today. Like it was insane.
Yep. It's awesome.
So useful. My other question is, Tina?
Can I ask, what's the difference between leaving a space or not leaving a space, Gun?
Basically, the way that the algorithm on Instagram works is if you leave a space, sometimes people won't actually get that because it'll actually skip. So to make sure that all of your hashtags take and that they can be searchable and connected to the right people that are following or posting or hashtagging the same thing, you want to make sure it's all continuous. If you want to see what I do, just go to Scott_Aaron on Instagram and you can see some of my hashtags and how I do it.
Awesome. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay. Does anyone else have any other questions about social media? Then I have one more here. Okay, so my other question is how fast and what's kind of your go-to for taking people off social media and in person?
So if I'm in person or if I'm on social media and getting someone on the phone?
Yeah, like, so let's say you meet someone off of Instagram. What's kind of your protocol if they're looking for products, they're interested? What's your protocol to then, or how quickly do you get them off online and more to face-to-face?
So I have enrolled some people off Instagram, but the most common people that I enroll are LinkedIn and Facebook. But on qualifying questions, so I don't get on the phone with just anyone. I get on the phone with someone that's serious. So I go through a list of, and this is, I train my team on this. I have a list of 4 qualifying questions before I do anything. So if you were to reach out to me on Instagram or Facebook and you comment on a picture like, what's this nutritional cleansing program about? I would send you a direct message or a Facebook message. And I would say, hey, thank you so much for reaching out. I'd love to share with you, more about my program. When is the best day, time, and number to reach you on so we can discuss it? That's it. And if they don't, so I call them ask holes. So people will ask as much as they can without getting on the phone. So I say to myself 2 things. Do I really want to give out all my information over the phone where they can just go Google it themselves? And do I want that kind of person in my business where I can't even get them on the phone when this business is done over the phone? So best case scenario, time and number, and I say, great. Second question is, what specifically are you looking to achieve? And this is what I learned from Tara, maintain. Because if you just say, what are you looking to achieve? You want to put something on the back end of that question that's going to let people know that they are going to be able to keep those goals once they hit them. So what are you looking to achieve
don't judge it
and maintain? Someone's line is, I think, unmuted.
Make yourself all on mute, guys.
I got it.
Perfect. Thanks,
cool.
Tina.
Thank you. So the second question is, what are you looking to personally achieve and maintain? So they're going to tell you what their goal is. Now, once they give you that answer, so they're going to say, I'm looking to lose 60 pounds and keep it off forever. You'll say, great. Third question is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how serious are you? And that is the most important question you can ask anyone, because I'm not going to get on the phone with someone that's a 4 because they're wavering between being curious and serious. I'm only going to get on the phone with people that are 7 and above. And now, just to teach you guys a little bit of NLP, and this is what I learned, most people are non-committal. So they don't want, they might say a 7, but in their head, they're like, I am a 10. But the reason why they won't say they're a 10, because they don't want to show their cards. They don't want to be a lay-down sale. So people might say I'm a 7 or an 8. If someone says they're a 7 or an 8, they're a 10. They just don't want to commit right away. They want to be sold on what you're doing. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So the last question is, once they come back and they say, I'm an 8, you're going to say, great. We're scheduled for a call at Tuesday at 2 o'clock. Is it okay if I send you some information 15 minutes prior to our call? So basically, I'll take their information, what their goal is, and I will send them a couple videos right before I speak to them. So when I get them on the phone, the first question I always ask every single person, whether it's someone I'm prospecting or a 3-way call, how did you feel about the information you can notice I said feel instead of think, because when you say think, it takes people to the left side of their brain. You want to keep people to the right side. Left side is where they're going to think about it. The right side is where they're going to feel and go with their emotions of why they want to do this. Does that make sense, guys?
Yep. Very, very quickly, because there's a few questions in the chat just asking about what NLP is. What's a quick way that you would describe that?
So it's neuro-linguistic programming. It's understanding what people's words are and what they mean, and actually getting people just asking more questions to get to the answer. So, instead of telling, it's asking. So saying to someone, do you have a pair of pants in your closet that you haven't been able to wear in the last 4 or 5 years? And they'll say, yeah. And I'll say, close your eyes, and I want you to imagine what it would feel like to wake up tomorrow morning and be able to put on those pair. How would that feel? So now you have them starting to dream and feel and kind of get into that emotional connection of what that would be like. Or I'll say, I want you to close your eyes and I want you to imagine that you're standing on a scale right now and your eyes are closed. And when you wake up tomorrow morning, you're going to open your eyes and you're going to look down and you're going to see that number. What is that number that you want to see on that scale? So I do a lot of plays on that sometimes, getting people, out of thinking about things and feeling about it. It's getting people to start dreaming and thinking big. And, the one thing that I learned from listening to Grant Cardone, and if a lot of you have not read the 10X rule, I highly suggest reading the 10X rule. But also he's got an amazing YouTube channel. He does 3 YouTube lives a day. Grant Cardone teaches you when you're actually prospecting someone to actually agree with the customer. So if I was prospecting you and I was talking to Tara and I said, Tara, here are the options between the 2 programs. And she says, well, Scott, that sounds kind of, I would say, you know what, Tara? I completely understand how you feel because I felt the same exact way when this was presented to me. But here's what I found. When I really looked at the amount of money that I was spending at the supermarket and all my daily stops for coffee and soft drinks and 7-Eleven wraps, I was actually going to save money by doing this system. So when you actually agree with the customer, you're taking down that wall. But if you come at them and say, no, you're wrong. This is definitely going to save you money. It automatically brings that wall up where they're not going to be receptive to what you have to say. So you want to lean into them a little bit and agree with them and use the feel, felt, found method. It really gets them to let down that wall and really starts opening up so you can have a more relatable conversation.
Wonderful. That was so awesome. Is there any books that you love about NLP if people want to plug into that?
I mean, any Dr. Joe Dispenza book, you literally just go to drjoe.dispenza.com and read any of his books. Something that I just finished is actually a book that we got at Top Achievers called The Radical Leap by Steve Farber. Just a really, really great book. And just to piggyback off of Tara, John Gordon, who wrote The Energy Bus, every one of his books, the one that I wrote that really turned me on to him was called The Positive Dog. And it's all about having a choice of how you want to think and feel. Do you want to wake up positive and grateful, or do you want to wake up overwhelmed and negative? Something else that I'm reading right now is Believing in the Force. I'll write it to you later, but it's a guy that I'm working with out in Japan. He wrote his first book. Being Peace is another great book. Anything by Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now is really great. And for people that are looking to kind of break free and become their own person, Codependent No More is a really, really great book if people are learning how to step into their own independence and really become the best version of themselves. Those are just a few that I've read.
Holy, that is so wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
The Positive Dog is really awesome. What I love is on Audible, it's like 2 hours long. Like you can listen to it on a quick car trip up to the families. And it's based on like a cartoon type kids story. So my 10-year-old brother also could plug into the lessons in that book. They're all awesome stuff. Okay, so I would love to know any suggestions, takeaways that you would give to the young people on this call that have such fire right now for either wanting to start a business or getting into their leadership roles. Any takeaways?
Yeah, so no matter what age you are, I think Tara and I always consider ourselves we're very young at heart. The one thing that I'll share with you is that, when you go through this journey, it's not the easiest journey to go through because you are going to have to break away from the pack. And, as Les Brown and Robin Sharma and so many great inspirational speakers talk about, you're the sum of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And there are going to be a lot of people in your circle of influence and friends right now that aren't going to believe in what you're doing. They're going to think it's a pyramid scheme. They're going to think it's a scam. They're going to think it's not going to work. And they're going to try to tell you that you can't, you won't, you never will. But what I can tell you is that if you can trust the process and believe in exactly what you're doing, you will not fail at this. And just like Tara said, the only way you fail is if you quit. And funny story about that. The first time I met Tara and Alexis was when I first started in this business. I was out to dinner with her sister Alexis, and Alexis was making her big leap that year in the business. And I said to her, I said, what can I do to guarantee that I really do this well? Leans over the table and she says, don't quit. And I'm like, that's it? She said, yeah, don't quit. And so I wish I started this years ago, but I am blessed to have the opportunity now. Don't listen to the people that aren't doing this. That's the number one thing. If people are going to lean into you and tell you what you're doing is wrong, get influenced and listen to the people that are doing network marketing. Don't be influenced by the people in your circle that are doing something else. Believe in what you're doing, trust the process, and never stop.
Awesome. So powerful. Thank you so much, Scott. Let's give Scott some major love, guys. I got so many takeaways from that. Okay. I would love to know your guys' takeaways as well. What's the biggest thing you got out of all of that stuff that Scott just shared with us? You guys got so much love in the chat, this whole thing. I can't even keep up with it. Holy moly. Does anyone have anything that they want to say? Take themselves off mute.
I personally love that you share about the results and maintaining. That is key. Thank you.
Taught me that. That's hers.
Beautiful. You both have so many tips.
Scott, Morgan, I love the tips you gave us about taking it from the direct message or Facebook to the phone. And the steps that you go through are exactly what Chris Harder taught us at ICU, the steps verbatim. So if that isn't a clue on how you actually the steps to walk through this business, I don't know what is. Coming from Chris Harder, I mean, right?
It's duplication. It's something that all of the top leaders talk about, and Tara, Alexis, CG, their whole team. It's the same. There's no deviating. It's the same thing with every single person, no matter who it is.
Yeah. Thank you. That's awesome.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Awesome. There is so many things in here. Takeaways. Do not quit. Marry the mundane. Trust the process. Exactly what I needed to hear. All caps. So much love in the chat, guys. Okay, so we are at 9 o'clock, so we are going to wrap up here. Thank you guys so much for being here. I have so many calls to action. Usually I say one or two things here, but I don't know. I got a whole notebook. I hope you guys do too, because that was an incredible call. What I want to do before everyone jumps off is we take a screenshot every week, and it's insane because we are so close to maxing out this call this week. The growth behind Start Canada is just insane. Tina, do you mind taking a few snapshots?
Yep, you ready?
Fix my eyebrows.
Yeah, fix them up. Look again.
It's the only hair I have.
I know. It's all good. You look great. Okay, ready, guys? 1, 2, 3. Okay, other screen. If you guys are hiding, open up your video. We want to see your beautiful faces. Here we go. Everybody ready? Yay, smile large. Here we go. Cool. Okay. It's a wrap. Tara and Scott, from the bottom of my heart, you guys, I love you both from the moment I met you at Breakthrough.
Love you
so much for everything. Thank you.
So grateful.
Take it away. You can wrap it up, babe.
Okay, so we have a training call for associates every Sunday night. Next week, I have some of my Peterborough peeps. I don't know how they all landed in the same week, but we have Trevor Pitts, who to me is just a master connector. I literally call him the black hole of knowledge. He knows everything about connecting, and he's so just one team orientated to share all of his tips and tricks. So I'm so excited for his training piece next week. We also have Kristen Kerr, who's somewhere, her pretty little face is here. If you guys know her, you know that her energy is just totally magnetic. She'll be sharing a belief piece with us next week. And then we have Riley Gabriel. I don't know if he's on this call here tonight, but he is not even 18 yet, and this kid rocks the Start vision. He grows his parents' business until he turns 18, and then I don't know, all hell is going to break loose when he turns 18 and he can start building himself, because he is just on fire. So we're going to hear a starter in the spotlight from someone that's not even Start age yet. So that would be so useful to get if you guys have friends with kids or anyone that's under the Start age and, would love to run with this as soon as they turn 18. That would be a really cool testimony for them to tune into. We also invite any of you guys, if you guys want to share your starter in the spotlight story, you want to share a belief piece, a training piece, or be involved in the committee that we've been rocking, let Tina or I know. Spread the word about the Start Canada YouTube channel. We have all the calls recorded. Make sure you guys are still on mute here. All of the calls are recorded and on the YouTube. If you YouTube search Start Canada, you can replay all of this. I know I'm going to re-listen to this call to get all the gold nuggets that were here. Also, make sure you like us on the Start Canada Facebook page. And if you guys have anyone new, we have a Zoom online op meeting every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Message me if you want to be directed into that. And then also the red and white tours this week. Who's going to those events? I'm so excited. Oshawa tomorrow to see Pam Barnum again. And also keep in mind when you guys are, busting things out and going to these events to get your pictures and your videos, because we're gathering those all up to make a big Start Canada video. So we got to start now. All your, op meetings or team building sessions. We want to have pictures and videos of all of it. So make sure you take those and send them to Team URI, okay? And with that, I love you guys. Thank you for being here.
Morgan, can I add one more thing?
Yeah.
Sorry, Hunt, to interrupt. I just want to give a big shout out to Tamala. You guys, we lost her in the beginning, but she was off to a roaring start. So give her some love. We are going to have her back because you do not want to miss her story. It's one that you definitely want to be able to share. So Tamala, we love you. Sorry that happened, but we will have you back. Okay, guys, let's give big love back to Morgan. She rocked the hosting. Woo! Awesome. Okay, babes.
We'll see you guys all next Sunday.
Awesome.
We're going to for sure max out next week.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks again, Scott and Tara.
You're welcome, guys.
Take
Good
care.
night.
Good night. See you guys soon.